All right, Tides of Change. Welcome to our special live streaming of Tides of Change on CGTN's social media platforms. I'm Zhao Yunfei.
I'm Matt Galat.
And we have traveled to Guangxi, Zhuang Autonomous Region. We just left Hainan Province.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can certainly see from the scene where we're at, you know, the shape of the mountains.
It's a bit different.
The horizon is completely different. I don't know whether you're watching us from the drone perspective, drone shot, or from where we are. We're actually on a boat. And we're traveling through a very special period of waters, and today we're going to talk about oysters.
Oysters.
Yes.
A very interesting topic.
Truly. I think it's a very interesting topic,
Yeah.
especially for our audience in the Western countries,
Yep.
because, Matt, you guys eat oysters a lot, right?
For sure.
And oyster seems like not quite familiar with Chinese people,
Yeah.
to be more precise, but certainly we have come to a place that grow oysters for hundreds of years.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Most people don't think about the origin of what they're eating. But when you really think about the origin of oysters, there's so much to talk about. You wouldn't think so.
Okay.
It's kind of a simple organism. But this entire area is built around the cultivation and distribution of oysters.
So today, before we dig in more, let me introduce our guest, Mr. Huang Weide, and he is a senior aquatic engineer at the city of Qinzhou. By the way, we're here in Qinzhou. 你好，黄站长，给我们介绍一下这边的具体的环境，为什么这是一个适合养这个生蚝的地方呢？ Why is this a perfect place to raise oysters?
我们广西钦州这个海域
Qinzhou, the sea area is quite unique
我
condition.
们562公里的那个海岸线
We have over
大小的河流注入。
500 kilometers coastline.
那个
There are 6 rivers
带了
converging
大部
here.
的营养物质。这个
They have brought nutrition from the land area, and this is where salt water meets fresh water.
第二个，它是
The water here is nutritious, and the water quality is good. The mangroves
海上精灵白海豚
and
在同一
white dolphins call it home.
所以铸就了我们钦州大海
This has made
优
this
秀的品质。
a superior condition.
I think he's making an interesting point that this is a place where, with a combination of salt and plain water,
Right.
and so that's why it's basically a perfect place to raise oysters.
Well, you know, the inland rivers actually are pulling all sorts of nutrients with them
Yes.
as they flow towards the ocean. And as they get here, they're just seeding all of these oysters with food and all sorts of nutrients that are a special place right near the inlet, you know, where the river meets the ocean.
So we kind of covered the fact that the closer to the ocean, the more fat you get from oysters.
Yeah.
您跟我们能讲一下，就是什么样的地方哈适合种这样的这个牡蛎养殖？适合养殖，不好意思，适合养殖。
It is cultivating.
No, my Chinese was bad. So what was the perfect place to raise oysters?
那个我们钦州大蚝属于巨牡蛎属，它是一个
Our
靠
oyster
那个低盐的那个
is
品种
low salt variation.
江河那个河口
In the convergence of river and sea,
像我们钦州这样
especially places like here,
水质
which enjoys great geographical location and water quality,
美的。
which provides a
而且
favorable
这个地
home
方其
for
实
the
政府也
oysters.
帮助了很多我们的这边的养殖大户，带动了这一片区的一个产业。So how the industry has been shaped?
我们政府对这个
The government
这个产业非常重视，
has attached great importance to the oyster industry here.
现在已经规模那个整个
The scale of this industry
30多亿的产值，
has reached over
好像有
3 billion yuan
万
business, and we are producing 280,000 tons of
这
oysters.
个养殖业呢，
The government has issued favorable policies,
比如那个养殖
including
化区域摊的规划，
the planning of specific sea areas for cultivation,
是那个品牌建设啊，
and we've also building up local brands,
那个
providing subsidies for local farmers.
营造了一种很好的产业氛围。
Through this,
And
build
that's
up a
why-
favorable business condition.
That's why 70% of oyster larvae of the entire country.
That's a huge statistic.
Come from this
That is
place.
a huge statistic. For the amount of people that consume oysters in a country this large, that is a pretty incredible thing. And I imagine that the industry is providing jobs for a vast number of people to have to have work related to the farming of oysters.
Yes，所以整个这个产业是如何带动的？
这个产业我们形成了一个整个产业。
We have a comprehensive product chain
养
from
养成，还有那个育肥
cultivation,
还有那个流通，还有
raising,
开拓
marketing, branding.
一个是形成全产业链，那个
The whole product chain has been
这个青州
completed.
行业里边全部
Qinzhou in this region, in this industry, we have
Zhuang.
it has involved 100,000.
在我们
workers
来说是个特色。
This is our feature industry.
100,000 people. Imagine what kind of industry would that be, and that also not include the oyster industry, but also the wood industry,
Yeah.
tourism
Yeah.
industry. So many different perspectives. for
There's
getting
more
involved.
than just the oysters. There's a whole world that is encapsulated around the raising of these animals. It's very
Yes.
interesting.
Very, very interesting.
One of the things I love to think about with regards to oysters is how when you're growing oysters, when you're raising them, they're one of the few animals that actually improve the surroundings. So the more oysters that you farm, the cleaner the water will be around those oysters. They're basically filter feeders.
Yes. Can
You
you
know.
tell us more about the environmental perspective
Yeah.
of raising oysters? 养生蚝对于环境有什么帮助？
牡蛎是一种
Oyster
就是说历史水中营养物质的那个生物
it，
它
eats
养殖的
the
过程
nutrients
需要
underwater. We don't have to feed them
还
intentionally
有其他投入
or other fertilizers.
碳汇的那个
It
产业
brings benefits to
像
reducing
我
carbon
们
emissions.
都是
For example, in
8万吨的那个
Qinzhou,
牡蛎的
we produce 280,000 oysters a year,
中移除那个
and which will reduce about
2万多吨
20,000 tons
移植
of carbon from the
那
water.
个氮元素
And in terms of nitrogen, 500 tons.
达到150，
atmosphere,
这是专家的
500 tons. This is according to experts' calculation.
This is perhaps the most eco-friendly
Right.
animal.
Right.
Like even humans are not friendly to
Yep.
the environment.
I mean,
oysters are.
when you think about like crops or even livestock, you need feed, you need a fertilizer, you need all of these sorts of manufactured things to take care of them. But oysters, that's it. That's all it needs is the water that we're looking at right now. So it is extremely natural.
So from the scene, you probably can see right behind us. This is a very beautiful grid system. It's
Yeah.
a very typical grid system of oysters over there. So usually later on we'll hop
Yeah.
on one of the systems and check out.
We're gonna check out in depth. We're gonna look at the oysters. We're even gonna taste a couple.
We're gonna taste it. We're gonna cook
my
them.
favorite part.
Yeah.
But you can't really tell, actually, even from the drone footage, you can't tell how vast this area is. This area is huge, and there's farms as far as the eye could see once you get out of this inlet. It's pretty spectacular.
Okay, I think we're approaching our site very fast. So maybe we can also talk about some kind of the international cooperation.
Yeah.
黄队，我们知道，其实在这个地方，我们跟这个一些东盟国家也有很多的这个合作，是吧？
对，在我们牡蛎产业这块
In this oyster industry,
也有合作。
we have collaboration with ASEAN countries.
我们跟文莱
What was mentioning is that Brunei,
关于那个
we have signed up
合作协议，
the contract of collaboration.
双元建设一个2个大好产业园。
We are building up
这个
China Brunei
这个项目
industrial parks
在进行中。
for oyster
What about
breeding.
some of the advantage of Chinese oysters? 中国的牡蛎有什么优势？
中国的牡蛎，像我们青州的
Chinese oysters, for example, the local species,
它是怎么说？它生产期是3年，
its lifespan is about 3 years.
个体大，幼质肥美。
It has a lot of, it is very meaty
这些，反正
and
口感很好
crispy,
一直受到市场。
fresh,
I
gains great
never
popularity in the
tried out
market.
oysters that really I can call it kind of a sweet oyster.
Yeah.
Well, I never tried something like this.
Yeah, the flesh of these oysters here in China are particularly tasty. I was here a couple of days ago filming, and they had me eating one after another and after another. I've enjoyed the China oysters.
可以生吃可以
Oysters,
自
you can eat it
自身
in raw,
也可以
in raw,
烹饪来吃。这
and
个
it can also be
真的
cooked.
很好的媳妇。
非常
which is
所
a
以一会儿
great
你要给我们
ingredient.
展示一下怎么吃。
好的好的。
So later you're gonna show us how to cook.
And more than just one way.
More
I mean,
than just one
You
way.
have an array of different ways that you can cook your oysters
So you
to
must-
satisfy your appetite.
Please stay tuned to Tides of Change, and later in our live stream we're gonna cook the oysters. But before we check out how the oysters are being cooked,
Yeah.
we need to know how they're being cultivated.
Right.
Certainly.
The way that oysters are raised hasn't changed in quite some time. People have been eating oysters for a very, very long time. And so we've been able to perfect here in China the cultivation and raising of oysters in the most efficient way possible.
So standardized cultivation it is. It started from the 1960s or 1950s. It lasted for a couple of decades. But now it's being a very mature and standardized cultivation
Yep.
method. So
And Qinzhou here is the master of aquaculturing, which is the
Oh, yeah.
original stage of getting the larvae of the oysters, and so they are the masters of this industry. So we're pulling alongside the pier here,
yeah, we're talking.
and as soon
Yes.
as we stop moving and we're tied off, we're going to step off.
I think
We ready to go?
Go ahead and
All right,
get
all right.
down. Okay, here we go. Let's
Okay.
go. Watch out.
Okay. Now,
Be careful.
We are looking at wow! Look at all of these oysters.
There he goes. Oh, nice. This is a very nice grid system. Let's,
Yeah. So
come over.
we've got these ropes that are suspended over these grids. In each grid has a rope that's hanging down from it. Each rope has about 20 oysters that have been grown since a young age. Sometimes they start on a smaller concrete plug, which we'll show you a little bit later. But as they grow, they have to be moved and transferred to an area where they can grow bigger. And man, these oysters are big. I mean, have you ever
Very
seen? These
big.
are really, really large oysters.
We tried to lift them yesterday when we were taking pictures.
Yeah.
They are so extremely heavy. I mean, like it's definitely not an easy thing to lift them.
Yeah. Well,
So let's see. Especially that. Well, they are actually oysters a 2-year-old, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're already.
I mean, you can tell the age of these oysters simply by looking at the size of them. You can see that there's some smaller ones over here and then some larger ones over here.
Yes.
They, like you said, they take about 3 years. For the first year, they're living quite small, and then once they grow, they actually start competing for space.
Oh, they
and-
are? Wow.
Yeah. So you have to spread them out and give them enough room to grow. And you can see these larger sticks have a larger clutch of oysters because they've given enough space for them to really, really kind of spread their wings, so to speak, and become as large as they can be. And
We have another friend joining us.
Yeah.
just now, and so by the way, he is Mr. Liu is the owner of this oyster farm.
你好。
你好，
你好，
你好，刘经理。
Can I
我们过去
come
吧
over?
Okay.
可以，
Ooh, dangerous.
慢点，慢点啊。
I think there's.
Oh, careful.
Oh, this is so tall.
Be careful.
Okay.
You don't want to do any permanent damage. Okay.
我拿一条出来给你们看一下。
哎，先别拿。
So how long have you had this farm here? How long have you been growing these oysters in this place?
您在这边种，就是这个养生蚝养了多长时间了？
养了差不多，我们祖辈下来
I
了，
have
大概10
been.
来年了。
This is a generation
10 years.
industry. We have been
Roughly
raising
10 years.
oysters for
Okay.
almost
这10年当中能
Decades.
有什么样的一个经验跟我们分享？
我们以前是养滩涂的，现在慢慢转变就变成养种头筏了。
Now we are using this
大
rift
好的
method
单价一两好。
to raise oysters since they're having soaring prices
So,
on an
so
annual
the
basis.
price of the oysters are getting much better.
Oh, okay.
Can you give me an idea, like what is the price?
Yeah. How
怎么
much?
卖的？
我们一般都是内城的话，广东那边就是
Normally
看到
we
我们
export our industries to our capital
然
cities,
后广东站街那边
and for
都是
those sold
整排
to
的，
Guangdong
他们过来
province, we
卖
sold
要
out the entire rift.
So, you probably have already seen that we are giving your live signal from a
Underwater drone.
To see how the oysters are being cultivated down there.
Now, how old is this stanchion of oysters here?
这个多大？
多大？
这个我拿上来给你看，这个就是
慢点拿。
Okay.
Slowly.
Here we go. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Wow, this is a very interesting plug because you have some very, very young. This is This is the concrete plug where they would normally have the larva.
Yeah,
that would
the larva,
attach
yeah.
to. And then as the oysters grow, they start to gain in size, and you can see these are like adolescent oysters. 这个多大？
这个大概是1年左右。
This is
About a year.
About a
so
year.
after a year, do you take them off of the concrete and move them to another, or do you leave them on the plug?
你是把它们放到别的地方是吧？还是继续把它
我们要不停的换水域里，现在涨的话，
We are
因为
changing
1年了嘛，都
the oysters into different water bodies. For example, we'll bring them to the outer seas.
They're going to transfer to
Right.
another zone. Oh, there's a little
Yeah.
crab over here.
You know, the interesting thing about oysters is that not only are they very natural, but they provide a natural habitat for other animals.
I can definitely see.
You see all these little crabs escaping from my hand here. And it's very, very interesting.
I think
Full
their
of life.
home got disturbed.
Full of
somehow.
life. They're angry.
They're also ants. Look at those crabs. We're too far from the camera. You probably don't
Yeah,
catch
it's okay.
it.
It's okay. They're crawling all over me.
Okay. Will they
Okay.
bite you?
No. They're friendly crabs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tie it back? Okay.
我来。
I just want to give our audience a little bit more time to take a look at our underwater
Yeah,
drone,
for
because
sure.
this is our camera crew has been trying so hard to make it happen. What you're looking now is the live signal transmitted from underwater, and
Now, right now is interesting because we are at slack tide. It means that the water has equalized inland and out to the ocean. As soon as the tide and balance, you'll have either the tide going out or the tide coming in.
Yes.
Normally, what you'll have here on the camera, on the underwater drone, is you'll have a large flow of water pulling nutrients past the oysters, and then they're feeding, obviously filter feeding, as that water is flowing. Right now, it's kind of a unique period of time where the water is kind of stagnating and not moving.
so they're not working.
And so now there's not as much food. There's no fast food.
There's no
no fast food.
There's no fast food. Definitely.
Yeah.
So speaking of filters, are we actually eating filters?
Well, yeah. I mean, oysters are bivalves, which
Yes.
means they're shelled creatures a lot like clams and different things. What they do is they just feed from the water column. So they are literally like a water filter. That's why it's such an interesting thing, because the more oysters you have, the better quality the water will be. So it's a real positive creature to raise and end up feeding on, because it provides you with protein and sustainability.
Wow.
But it also helps the environment. So yeah, you're eating a filter.
Okay, I can't wait to get a closer look at the oysters. Shall we move?
Sure.
See how the big mature oysters really look like. 等一下，我们一会儿看看这个，跟您再来做一下这边的这个，看看这个生蚝怎么制作，好吧？Okay, I'll
see you
talk
in
to
a
you
little
later.
好的。
谢谢老板。
Okay. Be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful. Okay, there we go.
Watch the jewels.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice
wow.
exercise.
Okay,
oh,
okay.
look at these. Harvest, right?
Holy moly.
Wow, these are
adults. These are adults. Oh, feel the weight. Wow. Holy moly. All right, these are mine. I'm putting them in my pockets. I'm taking them later.
I try to kind of open these oysters, and it's not an easy job.
You know, it's really tricky because they have a muscle that's on one side, grabbing one side, and then a muscle on the other side that's grabbing the other side. And so when they're out of water like this, all those muscles engage, and they're very difficult to get. You got to actually cut that muscle so that it opens up. Obviously, in the water, they open up slightly to feed from the water column,
Or they are breathing, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
breathing and feeding at the same time, basically.
Yeah. Well, also, it's kind of they're in a different shape. Some of them are long. Some of them. Oh, look at that! These are small
Muscles.
Small muscles.
Small muscles.
Wait! I think they are oysters.
No, those are muscles, and then we also have
those are muscles.
barnacles. We
Oh,
have
okay.
soft things that are sponges. I mean, these are like platforms to which life just attracts. I mean, not only do we feed upon them, but organisms use these to live on. Whether it's a crab or all sorts of different crustaceans. Yeah, but these mussels are too small. You can't eat these guys. They're a bit too tiny.
Okay. I really want to try to lift it. See how
Lift
heavy
it? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So heavy. Ooh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It must be really good for your health if you really get a chance.
Well, they're actually really good for you. I mean, let's turn it so that let's get the sign. These are really, really good for you. They're packed full of vitamins and minerals and protein. They're really a solid staple.
and I can't wait to eat them.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, shall
I'm
we
hungry.
go?
You want to check it out? Okay,
All right,
let's go. Let's go.
let's go. So now we are at a.
Okay, so here you can see. I mean, you have oysters hanging in all sorts of different. points
before
of
we
life.
reach that point,
Yeah.
let's check out the infants or a
The
little
babies.
bit. There's
The nursery.
the nursery.
The nursery,
oyster.
daycare.
Yeah.
Daycare. Yeah, so here we've got some of the younger oysters.
I think that is.
Yep.
Yeah,
They've been already seeded on the concrete plugs, and they've sort of started to grow. And they're not quite the size that you would transfer them to the next stage of life after a year, right? After a year, they start to get moved. But these are the young ones, so they they're babies.
It's
Little
really-
babies. Aren't they cute?
Oh yes.
Aren't they so
I can't wait to talk to them.
Baby oysters.
I think it's definitely going to take 3 years to.
Yeah.
Wow, isn't that fascinating? Only 3 years.
It seems like, I mean, think of how hard and how solid these. I mean, it's a solid calcium shell is built over a course of 3 years. It seems like it's actually quite quick, when you think about how large they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready to eat?
They are sort of ready.
I
Okay.
smell it.
开生蚝给你们吧，
哎，尝一下生蚝，我们先从那边吧。
开生的就熟吧，
啊
炒吧。
那边在炒。Okay.
We're going
So,
to.
so they are trying to
啊，
get some raw
你看，
Oh, look at that.
oysters.
Oh my
是
God.
吧？
来，您站
这是我们钦州的特产
This
翡
is our
翠马蹄蚝
specialty，
窝是比较深的，你看就像个马蹄一样，
This is like a
够
horseshoe.
饱满的，是吧？
I mean, I've eaten oysters in France and all sorts of different places.
可以直吃了。
Okay.
This can be
Okay.
eaten in
料
raw
呗，
So the muscle.
and some sauces.
So there's a muscle right here, actually. You can see the muscle here that grabs the top of the shell. And there's another one on the bottom. 可以煎吗？
可以这样。
Careful.
这样，
Yeah, okay.
是啊
Wow.
So now it's ready to go.
可以沾点料哦，
What?
沾点料没事的。
Oh.
Spoon.
It's okay, it's okay. All right. Let's do
The
this.
spoon would fall
Let's do
in.
this thing.
No.
Okay, give me a little little sauce there on the
wow.
top. Okay. And then do a little this.
How about that? Ooh. I think Matt is just now enjoying it. I think.
That was really good. I mean, like, I've had oysters all over the world, and this is, oh my God, they're just so sweet. The sauce is very good. It has a little spice to it, like wasabi or something.
Yeah, there are wasabi over here.
But it's very, very meaty. Very meaty. The oysters that you get like in France and some of the foreign European countries, they're very small. But these got some beef to them.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to. Let me take a challenge, maybe to open those oysters.
Yeah. So you got to
We're
get
gonna apply the knowledge I learned from yesterday and try to open an oyster.
Good luck. Don't hurt yourself. 'Cause you can slip. and cut
I
yourself.
will be embarrassed if I don't succeed.
小心点，你要勾到手的。
Yeah,
Watch
yeah.
your hand.
来吧，拿
They can
well,
be sharp.
shoot out,
So you got to be
shoot out.
careful with oysters because they do have some sharp edges, and you don't want to slip. There you go. Get it under. Now you twist it. Give it a little torque.
You twist it. There he goes.
Careful. Don't cut your finger. You're getting a little assistance. You got an assist.
你的工资可能不是。
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so I helped a little bit.
You did
I helped-
okay.
I
You
did the beginning stage.
You did good.
All right.
You did
okay,
good.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
I'm proud of you. Now you got to eat it.
Seriously?
Yeah. Come on
Really?
now. But you got to cut the bottom muscle off.
You sure? You want me to eat it?
Of course I want you to eat it. It's tasty.
Maybe later.
Well, you can't let an
This is
oyster
a
go to
challenge.
waste.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
I'll
you
eat
go
the
ahead
other
and
one. Let's do this again. Because then we're going to eat some cooked ones, but the raw ones are very, very tasty.
Wow. Look at Americans, people.
Ready?
They like raw oysters. Amazing. Wow.
American.
Yeah, nice. 这些
Very
应该
tasty,
是
very tasty.
这个怎么要
放了一
蒸的
下？要蒸的啊
蒸的
so they're gonna steam those
Oh, okay,
oysters.
okay.
Okay.
That was 3 years.
那哪个蒸的？
3 years of growing, 1 moment of eating.
But you enjoy the process.
I enjoy the whole thing. Actually, understanding and knowing about the lifestyle or the life cycle
Yeah.
of oysters and also the industry makes me appreciate the taste even more.
So-
it almost makes it taste even better.
They're putting the garlic on the oysters
Das one.
and ready to steam them.
Das one.
Wow.
I love myself some garlic. This is a great gig. I get to come here, hang out with some cool people,
Yeah.
learn some interesting things, and eat
Yeah.
some spectacular food. Now we've got a bunch of different ways that we can make the oysters here. We've got a grill, we've got a steamer,
Steamer.
we've
yeah.
got all sorts of different things. So we're going to walk through each step and cook it in a different way.
Wow.
Okay,
Be
so here they're going to
careful.
steam it.
Really, really hot over here. Okay, go. 多长时间? 2 to 3 minutes? 5分钟.
5分钟.
5 minutes.
All right, I can wait 5 minutes.
Wait for 5 minutes and get some delicious.
I'm satisfied.
You know, you probably don't know. Right now, we are surrounded by like 200 people
Yeah.
behind the camera, and they're staring at us. and they're staring at us.
Actually, we're surrounded by more. There's like maybe 1 million people out there staring at us.
Staring at us.
Hi. So what do we got here? We got some onions, we got some hot peppers, some carrots, some green peppers, some spring onions, and garlic, and some ginger.
Yes.
Those are all very, very
这些是要
fresh flavors.
炒吗？
啊，本来要炒的是啊，
还有一个焖的，对吧？就是这个是焖的是吧？
现在蒸
所以
先
是，蒸的。
蒸完再焖给你们。是吧
OK.
蒸完现在焖。
Different process.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very tasty.
Very, very tasty.
So, how long have you been cooking oysters here?
你们在这边做了多长时间了？
20
20
I have been
years.
doing that for 2 decades.
He is a oyster cooking master.
Yeah. 刘经理，就是咱们这边会有游客过来那个来吃吗？
Will there be
有
tourists
有
eating our oysters?
大概
Yes,
是
of
什么样
course.
的一个情况？
我们就是说他们在那边上码头，过我们这边就拿了我们就煮给他们吃。一般他们
They came
现
to
场就是拉上来，看到哪个大个的捡哪个。
Bring
那
their
那
harvested
就是说
oysters
想生吃也可以，然后我们烧烤。
and we'll cook for them. We can drill it,
It really
or
like
some of them prefer to eat it in
it's
raw.
really like a happy village trip. You know,
Yeah.
when you have a like field trip during the weekend.
Oh my
you come
gosh.
over here and then you pick your own food.
Yeah.
And if you can catch it, if you can just what we did, go through it, the grid system, and catch your animal.
Yep.
And then you take it with him and go to the kitchen.
You know, I've sat on the ocean and I've fished
You fished.
for like hours and not caught a thing. But when you can, it's like
that.
20. It
I'm
took me 2
gonna take
seconds.
this rope.
You're guaranteed to catch something.
You will get, so it's a sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely
for
a sense of satisfaction.
So these oysters that you're farming, how far do these oysters go? Like you're distributing all over Guangxi, or where do they head to?
I think we talked about ASEAN countries, so
Yeah,
you definitely have
the
more
larvae and the young oysters. Yeah.
young oysters.
Yeah.
现在一般这个您会把这个牡蛎卖到哪里去呢？
一般现在就是卖到。
So normally
广东
we
啊
will sell this
那
to
边多
Guangdong Province and surrounding
销
areas
路比较多，还有
towards Shenzhen,
啊
and including Baice,
这一块比较多。
Nanning in Guangxi, Zhuang Autonomous Region.
So they're most part of southern China.
Okay. Yeah.
The agenda, well, because usually they're really good at oyster babies.
Yeah, of course. And the oyster youngsters actually get
youngsters.
spread all over the Asian countries.
So it can also give a sense that the youngsters.
Youngsters.
The youngsters. The larvae.
Larva.
The larvae.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically it's the most difficult period of time how they grow oysters.
Yeah.
That's why they need
They
to
need to be
standardize
controlled.
the process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Wow. This 5 minutes seems so long to me.
Okay, so now oyster and the appetite for oysters in China has increased over the last few years. And so the desire for oysters has created an increase in the industry for oysters, which I think is great. I mean, like I had talked before, the industry for oysters is very sustainable. As a matter of fact, it's beyond sustainable, it's actually good.
Yeah.
Like, to raise an oyster farm actually helps the environment, which is a beautiful thing. So the more popular oysters are in China, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah,
So I mean, go out there and eat some oysters, because you're going to do your part for humanity.
So if you want to try it out, come to Qinzhou, come to Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region by yourself and try it yourself.
Trust me, it's really good.
Also, look at that.
Okay,
Oh, man.
the reveal. Dun, 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 dun.
I think do we have chopsticks? I'm already
You know what's
considering about
funny?
chopsticks.
You know what's funny is normally like you eat an oyster with your meal and you have all these different. But this is just like, hey, would you like some oysters with a side of oysters and a little bit of oyster on the side, and maybe have a little oyster with that oyster.
Oh, wow.
筷子，
筷子。
你会用筷子吗？
可以可以，我是中国人。
哦，你是中国的。
Oh, 谢谢谢谢谢谢。
Okay,
No,
you first.
I think now I can try.
Now you can try.
But it's wasabi.
You want some wasabi?
Okay. Put the wasabi over the oyster. Really? Am I really gonna take?
That's
this
hot
time?
stuff, man.
A little bit. A little bit.
Wasabi is an interesting plant, man. It grows in the freshest rivers underwater, and it has to be constantly brushed over with water. Wasabi is a very, very interesting, interesting little additive for food. So I'm going to take the largest.
Go
shell,
ahead.
'cause
Go ahead.
I'm an American. I want the biggest, the biggest hunk of meat,
The fattest.
the biggest and the fattest. So I'll go here, and we'll do a little garnish. A little wasabi garnish there.
This is really hot, so you need maybe
Yeah.
tissue.
Well, let's bring it up.
You can bring it up. Okay. Okay.
Get a little
Cheers.
We choreographed that. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers. Okay, let me get my hand underneath there.
Oh, wasabi everywhere.
They're so big, you got to eat them like a hamburger, which as an American, I'm not too foreign to. Ooh. Oh boy. That's tasty.
Peak
of
my day.
I mean, I've eaten a lot of oysters in my life, and some of them have been chilled. A lot of them have been roasted like this, but the oysters, like fresh right here, oh my God, you can't get better oysters than we're eating right now.
Yeah.
This is awesome. 谢谢老板，谢谢。
非常好，非常好。接下来我们快换一种做法吧。
I want to eat this whole plate, but maybe we should like start working the different ones, right?
Oh, they're gonna fry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay. These have been shucked already. You know the word shuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's shucked. They
Yeah,
shuck them off
they shuck them
the
off.
shell. Wow,
look at this.
normally I see they're little small oysters, but these guys are
Yeah.
These guys are
They're really big.
big
huge.
ones.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
So-
going to
so-
take
so,
one for the road here. You keep talking. I'm going to walk over here and have a little more.
Okay.
He's talking. I'm
Have
gonna...
some pepper and onion, as well as garlic, and put an entire big plate of oysters into the wok.
There's something about the sizzle sound in China of
Yeah.
a wok with some sizzle. Like that is a great sound.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat another one.
Let me check out what our audience say on our social media platforms to see. I think they
You know
must
what
be
they're saying?
jealous of us.
Please stop Matt eating all those oysters. Oh,
Any
look, they got
comments?
some on the grill here too.
Yeah, they're grilling the oysters. Wow.
Okay, so this is something very common in China. Have the grill out in front.
Yeah.
And they're grilling, and
Yeah.
so they put some garlic on them. They're sizzling. This is probably, for me personally, the most common way I've seen oysters here in China.
Here in China, yeah. But what about in the U.S.? I mean, a lot of people...
in the U.S. it's chilled.
Yeah.
So they'll have a plate with ice, and they put the oysters on. They're extremely cold. You eat them with a little bit of garlic, maybe a little bit of soy sauce.
Yeah.
But they're meant. Oh, you know what? We have cocktail sauce in America,
Yeah, definitely
which is like
cocktail
cold.
sauce. Yes.
But eating them hot is extremely tasty.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's sizzling.
they're
I like
putting on
that.
sauce.
Oh boy, that smells good.
So we're also...
What is that?
Oh, 这是什么呀？这是
原料，蚝油，蚝油，
蚝油。
So what's the brown though? Peanut?
No, no, it's
Abalone
peanuts.
sauce.
Yeah.
Abalone sauce. 真好吃. Any other comments for us?
Wasabi everywhere.
Wasabi everywhere.
Yeah.
I actually love wasabi. I'll put it on
Oh,
all
it's
my
just
dishes.
there's a Chinese comment. 马特真有口福啊. It means, Matt, you made it. Yeah, you're so lucky to get a chance to eat so many good stuff.
Yeah. All right,
people say, "Oh, I'm hungry."
You should be. You should be.
Oh, Daniel Fournier. Ah, you got the best oysters.
The best oysters. Because
Yeah,
in
definitely
America,
we are.
the oysters, sometimes you go to, Boston, you get some oysters there, The Boston accent. My accent, actually, I'm from Detroit, so my English accent is very middle.
Yeah.
But it's not the Boston accent or the Yakis.
So keep leaving your comments on our social media platforms.
It's so
Facebook,
interesting to hear
Twitter.
from you.
Search CGTN, and you can find our live stream. Leave your comments, and the only thing we can do is to read it out.
Yeah.
We can't send you food right away.
开一个马特，你自己开，戴个手套，
Try yourself.
Okay.
戴个手套，戴个手套开一个自己，
Protect your hands.
就这样子，轻轻的我
可以，
帮你敲一下，
明白。
然后就轻轻的
Yep.
啊，
Let's see.
慢一点啊，小心啊，
小心啊, watch out.
这样
You probably want to put it on the table.
No, it's okay. I can never find the stupid opening.
这个好，因为基本上超过4年了，它的咬合力很结实，所以说才长得那么好的好肉出来。
I'm better at eating,
Ah.
not opening.
It's not easy.
要么拿
可以
换
帮你
换吧，
This
换
one?
这个尖一点，是啊，
Delicious.
Oh, okay. You got to kind of cut off the... There we go.
Oh, you made it? Oh,
No.
wow, yay.
There we go. Okay. You ready?
OK 了
You ready?
Okay.
OK 了，行了。
Twist it.
There
Yay.
you go.
There it goes.
Okay. I almost didn't get it. If I didn't get it, then I was
You'll
going
be
to cry.
embarrassed. Oh, look at the fry.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, my
There we
God.
go.
This is actually
谢谢老板。
bigger.
来，
Wow.
直接瞧得了。
Barbecue. Wow, look at that.
Woo! Wow, look at those oysters on that thing. They're like monsters. I'm getting my chopsticks ready right now.
Go.
Go
Go for it.
Holy.
带
Oh, it's a little bit spicy.
带，
A little bit spicy, just spicy
Dala.
enough.
還有太
Oh
黏
my
稠。
gosh, look at the size of these
你
things.
夾落去咧。
Cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
I gotta say it. This is the best oyster dish I've had made this way. I've had a lot of these sorts of oyster dishes.
Just tastes differently than the steamed oysters.
Yeah.
This one,
啱咪坐落只。
you have different layer of sauces, so it's not that origin, but definitely that has a different types of tasting.
Can I take the grill one?
Oh,
來
the
了
grilled one.
來了
Oh
來
my
了，
God.
烤的。
It's hot.
Use a tissue.
It's
See,
okay,
you can
it's
see
okay.
it's still grilling. Look at that. Look
Yeah.
at those oil. Oh, wow.
You ready for this? You ready for this?
It's fast. Usually it takes like longer than I expected. Usually you take 10 minutes to grill one thing, and oysters only take like 2 to 3 minutes.
Now,
Feels like barbecue.
it just, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're eating good food.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I am racking my brain. Which one's my favorite?
I
don't even know.
I like steamed ones actually.
I like the fresh ones.
You like the fresh?
I like open that thing up and let it go down my throat. I'm good to go.
Well,
I'm good to go.
you're close to nature.
Yeah.
You're definitely close to nature.
Wow.
Wow. 想问问咱们经理，像这些做法哈，游客当中哪种做法是最受欢迎的？
Which is the
烧烤
most
是
You like the
favorite
shao
one.
The, most of the
Most popular.
people, visitors, they
Like
would
the-
prefer
like the-
this
like
kind
the
of a
grill.
grilled, the barbecue one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
Yeah, I like myself some fresh, uncooked, just rock and roll.
Well, so different people certainly have different
Yeah.
different tastes.
And they can cater to different types of cooking too. Different people's tastes.
Yeah. 那像这样的这个牡蛎怎么卖的呢
oyster like this. What will the price of it? 15 each.
？15 RMB one piece of oyster.
15 RMB.
So how much we spent today?
How much did I eat today?
How much? Yeah.
How much did I eat?
200 yuan already. So 15 is more like $2 US, right? $2 US per oyster. It's good. What about what's the price in the US?
I don't know. It's
In
very
this
expensive.
restaurant.
They're expensive
It
if
should
you
be
go
very
to the
expensive,
restaurants.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Then they're not this big.
No.
They're not this big. These ones have some.
所以是什么让这个牡蛎这么大呢？
What makes
因为
it so big?
我们刚才你们看到佛法那里了，我们要不停的换水域，换到外
Because
海。
we are
现在
constantly changing the water body which is in.
以上的生蚝
So
卖到
the oysters you're
养到4
eating,
年我才要你
because they are almost they are
4年以上
over 4 years old.
It's like
才有那么大。
4 years of
4 years.
cultivation. I asked for 15 yuan.
Yeah, yeah. You deserve it.
You deserve
You
it.
deserve it.
值，
加油。
应该收这么多钱是吧？Okay, you keep eating.
Anyway, how's it going, guys?
Okay, what did we learn today?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we learned that oysters not only taste good, not only are pleasurable for the stomach, but they're an important part of the ecosystem. They're an important part of the economy.
With your mouth full.
With my mouth full of delicious oysters, and they come in all sorts of, preparation methods. So, oysters are versatile.
Yeah.
They're versatile to help the economy, to help the environment, and to help people have a really tasty meal.
Yeah, I definitely want to ask some future plans. 刘经理，未来是怎么打算的？接下来咱们这个产业，您作为一个大户，养殖的一个大户，你有什么想法？
我们会继大
In the future,
我们继续扩大那个规
I
模。
will expand our scales of
外
business
海呀
and
现在我们
cultivating the outer sea. We're now also having cooperative
在
commissions,
那边养
and we'll encourage more farmers to join
因为
us.
咱们这边的人一直是在在养殖这个。
People here, they are
咱们这边的人
raising
这几年
oysters.
的生活有什么变化
In
吗
the recent
所以
years,
这几
how
年
life
和
has changed
它规范化养殖和
after the
的养
standardized
殖有什么不一样的
breeding.
How life has been changed after you guys standardized the cultivation process.
我们这边50%的基本上都是养殖商。
50%
因为我们
of
以
our
前
people here
我们像我们老大
are oyster
老大那一
farmers.
代的话，就是
Our further generation,
滩涂养殖的。后
they're
面
raising
这几
oysters
年
on the
才变成这种
on the
狗的
beaches.
养殖是啊。
And now
因为
it has
滩涂养殖
been
的产量也
standardized.
比较低，然后我们佛法呢，
because in the past the
受
yield
这个
was low,
水退啊、水涨啊，
and now the rifts will not be influenced by the rise and fall of
也比
tides.
较大，然后产量比较好
The，scale can
是吧
be
上市也比较快。
multiplied.
所以这几年的生活是变了很多，是吧
这？几年的生活变了
Our life has
原来我们
changed
是连
dramatically.
摩托车都没有，现在
In the past we didn't have motorcycle, now we have our individual private
都开那个
vehicles.
木船，现在
In the past we used wooden boats,
出海
and
嘛
now we use
我们快点
yachts.
刷就过去了，是啊。
Even this is just a story of generation, definitely. But from the father's generation, they have different ways of cultivating the oysters.
Yeah.
So these years of life has definitely been changed.
Yeah,
I mean,
improved
improved
drastically.
drastically. So good for them. I think it's very very nice experience to see how the
Satisfying.
oysters, are
Satisfying.
cultivated and growing and satisfied for seeing eating all the different types of cooking.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it.
I guess so.
All right.
What an interesting creature, an oyster is, and it's been really nice to actually learn so much more about it. It's more than just, you eat it and you enjoy it. There's so much more to it. That's pretty interesting to learn about it.
All right. All right. At
Sounds
the end,
good.
we thank you for watching our live stream.
Yeah.
And Tides of Change live streams are supported by China Mobile. All right. Stay tuned.
Take it easy.
Bye bye.
加油。
拜拜。
I'm gonna eat.
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and
more
eat.
oysters. This is a good gig.